In this episode, the boys tackle the barra at the Mini Mini.
Second fish at the trip.
G'day everybody, and thank you for watching and all our sponsors and people who support us along the way. It's been great to have you along for the ride. In this episode, we decided to go back up to the Mini Mini, which is where we first started out my fishing place. It was in the first season and probably one of the first episodes. Big Red, Kez and I headed up to the Mini Mini system.
First barra ever on the My Fishing Place lure. I said, oh come on, just tighten this one on.
Lee, how do you feel? So we decided to go up again and have a look at the Mini Mini, because I've been up before, but Big Red hadn't been up since probably season 1 of my fishing place. So we headed up again.
Oh, it was so good to get up there again. I mean, it's totally different, isn't it? South and East Alligator, it's just a different style, and you go to the Mini Mini, again, it's so remote, but there's just such a huge variety of fish. And you know, we caught some stonker barra. You catch them stonker barra up there, but if they're not quite firing, you're still getting your salmon, you're getting your jacks, you're getting snappers, you get tarpon. We just got so many fish. It's such an awesome fishery, and yeah, for me to be back up there after 5 or 6 years, such a good trip.
And at MFP here, we were releasing a new range of lures, so we went up there to try out some. We thought this is a great spot. Again, because of the variety of species, we thought we could try some of the lures out on snapper, barra, and other species and match it to what really works in that Mini Mini system. And we come up with a great new range of lures, which we'll talk about a bit later on.
Yep.
But that was exciting too, to be up there, testing our prototypes and just seeing fish just smash these new lures that we designed up and the new colours.
Couldn't get a better colour for here than what you've got right there.
That was really successful to see these prototypes do really well with both the barra, snapper, and all the species that we catch up there. So that was really good.
Wait. No, you didn't do it. New prototype.
Slayed it, yes. 2 or 3 casts, barra, snapper, you know, it was just absolutely awesome.
It was on. You know, fishing those systems for however many years.
Yeah!
We're able to develop what we think are the right colours and the right action for these lures. So day 1, or day half what we call, we're heading out to the Mini Mini. We're getting in the cruisers, we're heading out to the South Alligator, we're getting in the small boats. We're meeting the mothership. You know, it's nearly a day trip to get out to where we want to go.
Yeah!
And the anticipation is high as to what's going to happen. And sure enough, that next morning we get up, and as we're tying our leaders, we've drifted over to the bank on the other side, and it's just right next to the mothership. Bait around there, we're casting, you know, hookups on blue salmon. Threadies. Tarpon. So just while we're just tying leaders,
Yeah.
there's just bait around. So that some of those areas just look so fishy. Straight away we're like, oh, this is going to be awesome. And straight away, as soon as there's fish, day one, 5 minutes in, casting etiquette is out the window. It's like, quick, pass me rod, cast, cast, cast. As soon as you see bait, over there, cast.
Straight off the boat and you're into fish straight away.
Well done, brother.
Just the ampage is up there.
How's the call? Skills to pay the bills.
What was that?
And we started to get some barra straight away, didn't we?
Yep.
Ooh, if the guides fish that one.
Just got to get your lure in the right spot. I mean, we took a few newbies up, didn't we? A couple of guys that hadn't fished a lot before.
Meter 30 carp.
Bulk barra.
It'll be on.
Second fish of the trip.
I was thinking how they're going to go, because you've got to get your lure in the right spot. And I guess from the time that I first went to the mini 5 or 6 years ago, I was probably a little worse than I am now, but
Defending the world, that's what you got to do.
you've just got to get that lure into the right spot, because that's where the fish are sitting.
Well, it's like hunting, you're hunting a fish. And, it's like any sort of fishing is think think where the fish would be. The fish is just not going to be out in the open somewhere unless you're chasing pelagics, and then there's bait and things to contend with. But when you're hunting fish in rivers and in creeks, think about where that fish might be sitting. Think about where the current's running. Think about where the bait's going to be pushed with the current, and that's where you got to be fishing. And you got to be fishing past the fish, bringing the lure to the fish so they can ambush that lure as if it's a bait fish.
And that's the thing, sometimes where you need to get your lure, it's only a foot or 2 foot and you're right in the bush and you're like, I've got to get it there and drag it past, but that yields the results.
I mean, have a listen to some of Dwayne's words of wisdom.
You can be right up there, and then down under the mud.
It wasn't me.
Was it nothing we can do?
It's a bit unnecessary abuse. Some abuse is okay.
How many fish we getting there? Don't get the one stump that can catch. The only stump that can catch us.
Angler at fault. I like that when they say that. It's not my fault. There he is.
So after catching a few barra and a few fish on those tree line, we decided to head up to some drains to see if we could see some tailing barra and actually have a chance to cast and sight cast some barra. And that's a lot of fun when you're fishing those drains. The clear water's coming out and you can see.
So good when you see him cast, twitch. There it is.
The tailing barra, and you look for that tail. And I know there was one there where I said, oh, there's a barra over there. 2 twitches and boom, the barra's on.
Barra, are they?
Yep.
I just waiting for it to come out.
And I think there's nothing more satisfying than like when you're hunting and stalking fish, when you can see a fish and you can put a cast, like in the exact spot it should be, and a couple of twitches and boom, fish on. That is, to me, it's one of the pinnacles. I love that. Doesn't matter how big the barra is. That is just so much fun, sight casting to barra. It really was a lot of fun. You look for the bait, looking for those active fish, the feeding fish, and it is a lot of fun.
There is some moments that will remain with you forever for fishing. And after the drains, which is great fun, we went up to that other creek wherever that was.
I think it's called Guaranteed Meatery Creek or something like it's a big fish area.
And so we're trolling along, and next thing I just get a massive hit. Like, it was a huge hit, and it just started pulling string. And we went out and around to try and it you're really going, it's getting low, it's getting low, it's getting low.
How you going for school?
Keep it up. Trying to get in that tree. Pump him out.
Ting! Right, so that was disappointing. That was a big fish.
Well, you have been chasing your metery for some years, Dwayne, and has been trying to put you onto one, and that was probably, well, it was a big fish.
Well,
and we know.
It could have been a Dewey, I think.
No, I didn't go, no.
I tell myself it was a big Dewey.
Could have been a big caddy, big like crucifix caddy.
Yeah. So we don't know for sure, but it was one of the moments where the boat goes silent.
You know those moments when you go, if it looks like a duck and it quacks like a duck, it's probably a duck?
Yeah.
So it hit like a barra, fought like a barra, busted off like a barra, fairly chance it was a barra.
Yeah, big barra. So we, the boat went silent and we're like, ooh.
Did you feel it hit anything?
No, didn't it just dunk, 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 boom. Well, we got the bite.
I thought Lee's got this.
Huh?
I thought you got this.
We're on, then we're off.
You're going to be the hero.
I'm not after as you're like, oh!
That's dirty.
Yeah, we can play tricks too.
This time was like 50 pound braid.
Pressures you want on it like that.
Yeah.
If it's a 3 kilo rod.
Oh! There's a lot of pent up
DNA
anger.
doesn't-
You got
DNA
me onto the
catches.
fish and that was my job. So you've done your job. You can
No,
go away.
Job's not done yet.
Today you can go, you know what, I did
I'm
my
sick and
best.
tired of you losing all the big fish every time you come
I
out.
did my best.
And then we travelled home in silence. But yeah, big barra bust-offs, that's what we go for next time.
That one's bigger than the brand.
But I think he learnt today. I think he learnt what happened. That we're here for a reason. We had that reason.
And talking about unlucky meteries,
Oh yeah, oh.
this trip, first day, same guide, same area. Apparently he's fought it all the way to the boat perfectly.
The silver. Oh, that's a tank.
You got it, mate, you got
The net comes out, they net the fish, they start celebrating, and fish goes through the net.
It is a moment when you see the footage, it's absolutely devastating.
Netted it and threw the net and got away.
No good, Bryce. No good.
No, I can't, no. Got it all on video though, so I'm counting it. I don't care, I'm counting it. About a metre 10 and in the net, and it went ballistic through the net and left the lure there.
Bad luck, Bryce.
It would be devastating, and you can see the guide. The guide is in the fetal position on the boat. He can't believe it. So the angler's done his job. So the angler's done his job.
I would be gutted.
Through the hole.
The net is safe. It's like golf. You're aiming for the hole. Once the ball's there, it's happy and it's safe. And to have the net fail, you do everything right, nose it in, and you look at the footage and notice, and then they just look around and the fish is, that would be devastating.
Oh, we shouldn't laugh. So the next day, we decided to head back to that bank where we caught fish before. We went back there again, and it wasn't long before we could hear these wolf packs coming around, groups of barra.
Yes.
So you could hear the wolf packs coming around corners, and they were quite hard to cast to because they kept disappearing. Nice cast, Reed. But we pulled out some barra out of that little creek, casting at those edges, around the snags. Every now and again, someone was on. And we started to get up a little tally of barra, which was really good.
So I hadn't really done the sight casting before, but there was one point that Josh pointed, and team effort, no, but he just pointed, he said, oh, up there, and you could just see him, but where they were, it just really looks so shallow, doesn't it? So I thought, well, I either lose a lure or catch a barra, but it was awesome fun. Yep, just wait, twitch, boof, on.
Fish on.
So it was a hell of a lot of fun, and we did get quite a few out of there.
Yeah, we just sort of stuck around because I think the barra were moving up the system, and so they were coming through that creek junction, and coming and feeding a bit and then moving on, so we were sort of looking for that next lot of barra that came through.
78.
How do you feel?
Happy.
And of course, at one point there, I cast out, and next thing, boom, and hit by a big barra. And when you get hit by a big barra, you go, okay, we've got one, we've got a decent one on here. He ran towards the trees, other side, everywhere. At one point, I think you yelled out, he's on the other side of the boat.
Oh, was, because it jumped on the other side. This massive fish busts out. I said, oh, Darren, the fish is jumping out behind the boat. He goes, I know. I know it's behind the boat.
He's over this way now, yeah. Well, at that point, I knew where the line was, and I had the rod right down to the water because I knew he was back under the boat, and I could hear him jumping up. But I wasn't going to look because I was trying to watch my rod to make sure no bit of the braid touches the boat. And sure enough, we got out a bit deeper and we got it in and meter 2. So, oh yes! 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 That is awesome. Great to get a meter in the boat. I think it was the only meter he caught. We hooked a few that trip, but that was, I think, out of the whole group, that was the only one caught. There another meter 2, and it's really exciting when you get that meter in the boat.
And when it's a meter, you're like, yeah, there's got to be more.
Yeah, well, I think sometimes we're picking fish off, and sometimes you just stay. You know, the old saying, you never leave fish to find fish. You know, we knew they were coming through, and like, it was just, you just had to keep peppering, keep putting it beside the snags, and sure enough, eventually, you know, because then we started fishing the other side, and a couple of casts right up in the shadows on the other side. Josh and I pulled a couple out of there as well. Yeah. So we got quite a few fish out of there. And, you know, always a good day when you're getting, you know, 70, 80s size barra and then a metre barra from a particular area before you start moving on, you know, once they quieten down there. So a brilliant little session in that morning on those barra there in those snags and in those little creeks on against the bank.
And I guess the big thing is too, you know, I don't often fish for barramundi, and so one of the things, you know, in the local here, you know, catching bass and things like that, a lot of time it's whack and you're on and you're not having to do the big. And so of course it's all about barra, strike, and there was one, it was in that little junction, if you remember that.
I do remember.
I cast out and I was winding, I just felt a very slight tick on my lure. And you know, I felt this tick and I sort of kept winding, and next thing I see this fish bust out of the water. I thought, typical, either Darren or Josh has got another barra on. And then what did you say?
I said, dude, you're connected, the fish has got your lure in its mouth. It actually looked like, at one point it popped up, its head popped out, so I was looking around with a lure in its mouth saying, who's this belong to? And Lee's like, what?
That was gold, yeah, because it was just a tick and I didn't realize, oh, it is my fish, it is my fish.
More than one big lady. Oh, that one, isn't it? Go up down.
Look where the lure is.
He's got to learn to strike.
I have to learn to strike.
There's no bass here. You got to strike and set the hook. Then he won't be called the shift worker anymore.
But that was good fun too. But yeah, it's just different fishing, and it was just, oh, that was so much fun.
Loved that. Dwayne loved that.
Oh, he loved it.
He loved that Lee got a fish that he knows connected to.
If you actually see the fish come out of the water with your lure in it, you've got to strike the fish. It normally belongs to you.
No response.
And after that, I think I got an 84 out of there as well.
Yeah, mate, what, strike the fish? Hold your rod up, don't straighten it. Oh, look. I can see it moving out.
Doesn't believe it.
Yeah.
No breathing.
Here's the head. Good fish, man.
I felt the tick and I'm like,
I see the head come with the lure.
yeah, I did like,
So fish is still on.
what, 85 you reckon?
Oh,
84. I'll call it 84. Yeah. Yes, barra.
So there was some good barra in there, but that was, yeah, that was quite hilarious.